All right, welcome for today's explainer. We are really stepping outside the box. I mean, way outside. We're going to dive into a worldview that mashes up simulation theory, ancient spirituality, and a pretty sharp critique of modern psychiatry to ask some huge questions about what reality even is.
And this quote, it just nails the whole vibe of what we're talking about. The source material is basically telling us, hey, let's approach this with a sense of humor, okay? It's suggesting that maybe, just maybe, the universe has a punchline, and we're all in on the joke.
So here's the game plan for this little trip down the rabbit hole. We're going to start by looking at the universe as a giant comedy club. Then we'll climb this thing called the ladder of consciousness, all the way from our own minds out to the multiverse. After that, we'll see how this whole view clashes with modern science, and we'll wrap it up with a really big question that brings it all right back home to you.
Okay, so the core idea here is that we should probably stop taking ourselves so seriously. The source is kind of poking fun at the rigid walls we build between science, religion, and spirituality. It suggests they're all just different people wearing different funny glasses trying to describe the exact same cosmic dance.
And this right here, this captures the central metaphor beautifully. The atoms that make up you and me were literally forged inside stars that exploded billions of years ago. So we, and the source uses the term Shakti for this, representing this divine creative energy, are literally the universe waking up and looking at itself. Our whole existence, from this point of view, is just a quest to figure out our part in this big cosmic choreography.
So, if we're all Stardust doing a dance, how do we understand the different moves? How does it all fit together? Well, to make sense of it all, the source gives us a framework. Think of it like a ladder, a nested hierarchy that organizes consciousness into 4 really distinct levels. And check this out. This table is basically the cheat sheet for this whole worldview. You see down at the bottom, we've got the micro level. That's you and me, the individual. Then you scale up to meso, which is the solar system. Then macro, the whole galaxy. And right at the top, apex, which is the entire multiverse. And notice how each level has its own seat of consciousness, starting with our own ego and going all the way up to a kind of cosmic mission control.
So let's actually climb this thing level by level. We're going to start with the one we know best, or at least the one we think we know best, our own human experience.
Here's the path we're taking on our ascent, from the individual, you, all the way out to the whole cosmic shebang. And the key thing to remember is that each step literally contains the one before it.
So here we are, starting at the micro level. The source has these cool names for the human body. It's an avatar, a Shakti, or even a skin drone, which kind of implies it's a biological vehicle for something much bigger. And most of the time, our awareness is locked into our ego mind. From this perspective, we're either a spiritual seeker on a journey, or, as we're about to see, a patient in a doctor's office.
Now, this is where things get really expansive. As we zoom out to the meso level, this model says that the consciousness for our whole solar system is centered in the sun. Then, zoom out again to the macro level, and the consciousness of the entire Milky Way galaxy is anchored in that supermassive black hole at its center. Each one is the organizing intelligence for its whole domain.
And then we hit the top floor, the apex level. The source has a great name for it, the Anu universe. Get it? Like universe, but with Anu. The idea is that all the parallel universes out there are being orchestrated from one central place, what's called a mission control center. And this is supposedly the home turf of a being called Lord Anu, who's framed as the king of all gods and angels.
This is a perfect example of how this whole framework tries to connect the spiritual with the scientific. You might have heard of Nataraja, the cosmic dance of creation and destruction. Well, the source says, don't just think of it as some ancient metaphor. Go look at the footage NASA captured of 2 galaxies colliding. That's the dance. It's happening, literally right now.
So we have this incredible map, right? This ladder that goes from our ego all the way to the multiverse. But what happens when someone actually starts to climb it? How does our society, and specifically our medical system, deal with someone who starts to perceive these other layers of reality?
And here is where we see a major conflict. What one person experiences as a profound spiritual awakening, a connection to a higher consciousness, well, modern psychiatry might just see the symptoms of a potential psychotic episode. And what's the typical solution? A prescription, something designed to push you right back into your ego mind, which, the source argues, effectively cuts that cosmic telephone line.
So how does this connection to the cosmos actually show up in our world? The idea is that we can resonate with other people across this shared quantum field. The source calls certain influential people Shiva galaxy angels, figures who, whether they know it or not, are channeling these big cosmic ideas. It could be a tech CEO like Elon Musk talking about living in a simulation, a world leader, a film star. The point is, we're all nodes in this giant network of consciousness, each playing our part.
Okay, so how is this whole cosmic connection maintained? Well, the source proposes there's this fundamental signal that it calls the Om. And no, it's not just a sound you make in yoga class. It's more like a constant information-carrying wave. Think of it like cosmic Wi-Fi. It's described as the literal operating system for your skin drone avatar, a direct line for constant uploads and downloads from that higher consciousness.
So after this incredible trip from your own mind to the control center of the multiverse and all the way back, we finally arrive at the last and maybe the most important stop on our tour, the nature of your own awareness.
This is really the ultimate question, isn't it? The source is pushing us to ask, who is the one doing the watching? Not your thoughts, not your personality, not your ego. Who is that silent, constant witness in the background that's perceiving all of it? That is the shift from being trapped in the ego mind to realizing you're the observer consciousness. And that thought leaves us with this beautiful mind-bending paradox. You are an exploded star buying a carton of milk. The most normal, everyday thing you can do is being performed by a being that is literally made of cosmic dust. The whole point is to remember that connection, to be here now, and to keep watching, because the witness behind your eyes, that might just be the universe itself looking out.